Hi, I'm Laura, and my tip for you this week is something that I call the bonnet technique. I supplement my babies for two reasons. One, because I know that my babies have what they need and then a little extra, and I feel like it creates less of a drag or a dragging down on the mother. I feel like it helps out in both situations. I use a little bottle just like this. You can purchase it at PetSmart or Petco. I think this brand is called Pet Ag. Now, something you need to know is that these little nipples do not come with holes in them, so you'll need to make a tiny little hole in the end. Maybe you can maybe use a little knife and cut it. Whatever you have that can make a little hole works. And I also use KMR milk replacer. I prefer the liquid, but the powder's okay too. You need to always be sure and heat your milk. You don't want to give a baby cool milk because you are trying to maintain that body temperature. And just as if we eat or drink something cold, sometimes it chills us a little bit too. It'll do the same thing with a baby. So be sure that you do heat it, and then you immediately are going to test it on the tender part of your wrist to make sure that it's not too hot. Because if it burns your wrist, it's going to hurt that little baby's mouth too, and you don't want that. So that's the next thing that you do. Then I get a little piece of tissue paper because I'm going to wipe them off, and I'll have it here right beside me. So I get a baby, and I stand it on its feet like this, which is how it nurses naturally anyway. And then to simulate sort of a base, mimicking a surface such as a mom's belly or a sibling nursing on either side of the baby, I'm going to use my index finger and my thumb, and I'm going to create a little bonnet. And this is where the bonnet technique comes in. See that? Not only does this feel more stable for the baby, it also allows me to stabilize the base of the nipple with my two fingers right here. And I can hold it very steady then, and that way I'm able to hold the bottle very still. And the baby will nurse like this for a long time, as long as you're stable. In the beginning, when they're tiny like this, they're very eager to accept the bottle. When they get a little bit older, they're a little more temperamental, so you really have to be still and not move around a whole lot. And you need to pay attention right here to the angle of the nipple, making sure that it goes straight in with the contour of the mouth, not up or down, because they do get impatient after a little while. Again, I'm just supporting the head. I'm not lifting the baby. I'm just supporting it like this and creating a little stable base. So the other things that I want to tell you are that babies that are newborns, you need to be very careful and do not ever squeeze the bottle. Just let the natural gravity of the milk in the bottle come down, and that's usually enough for the baby. You don't need to start any in its mouth, because the newborns are very easy to choke, actually. If you squeeze it, they can suck it right up into their nose. And a little clue of how you can see that coming is you'll see the baby crinkle its nose or wrinkle it up. And immediately when you see that happen, take the bottle away, and it's going to be just like if we're in a swimming pool and we get water in our nose. It does burn. And so the baby's going to cry for a little, just a little bit, and then it's going to start sneezing the milk out. And so what I do is, while it's sneezing, I just take a little paper towel and I dab the nose and get the milk off that it sneezes out, and then it'll be okay again. But you do want to be real careful about that. And I watch the nose the whole time to make sure that's not going to happen. Another thing that I want to tell you is that as they get older, they do still accept this little bonnet technique very well, but you're going to want to squeeze it just a little bit when you put it in their mouth. So it's like the opposite of when they're a newborn baby. You're going to squeeze it a little bit to let them know, okay, here's the milk. Go ahead, and then it'll start sucking. But this helps me a lot. I know it helps the mom, it helps the babies, and I hope it'll help you too. Give it a try. Be patient with yourself, because you may not be good at it at first. It takes a little bit of time. There is definitely a science to this, and but I do feel that it gives me nice, fat, healthy babies, and they're always full. A satisfied baby will not be crying. If you have crying babies, then you need to be supplement feeding, because babies should be sleeping a whole lot. They nurse and sleep and nurse and sleep. And if they're crying, if they're sort of looking upward, then they definitely are hungry. So you need to be supplement feeding. I do this about 3 times a day. Maybe more when they're first born, but I think it really is a beneficial thing. And I hope that it helps you. If you'll join us next week, we will have something new for you on Tricks of the Trade. Thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.